So in this video, we're going to be covering the update to Windows 11. So let me pull up the actual article that I was reading over today. And the article is very general population. It gave you 5 options since Windows 10 support is running out in October 2025, October 14th of 2025, I believe. And so it gave you the option, just ignore end of support deadline, which is not viable for most people, or the general consumer, just because security vulnerabilities and all that. Especially I'm not sure if you guys saw that new video, people experimenting with Windows XP connecting to the internet in 2024, this year. And they used a website called Showdown, which I'm familiar with, haven't used too much. But basically, I believe you can look up, might take a minute. It's searching everything that's connected, to the internet. I guess it's just scraping IPs, something like that. So yeah, you can see different, and this Amazon Web Service is running Windows XP. So in the video, they just basically disabled firewall, this, that, and the third. And Windows XP, it's been, I believe, 10 years since end of support. And so you can literally use this search engine by itself and just see all the devices connected to the internet that are publicly available. And you can attack these computers using the 10 years of vulnerabilities that have stacked up. And so yeah, that's why the whole ignore the end of support deadline is kind of bad, just because if you do let it gather up like it did with Windows XP, I know some people are still on Windows XP, like the US military, but they pay out of pocket to Microsoft to keep vulnerabilities from getting them, basically. They just, for security patches, consistent security patches, because it's more effective to keep Windows XP instead of completely upgrading and breaking something, which to reference in a Mudahar video that I watched, some more Near Gamers, so credit to him. He explained it pretty well, so I'm just explaining it again. But yeah, you can see, let's see, so I'm not exactly sure how to use Showdown completely. I've heard of it before and I know of it, but yeah, you can see the Amazon Web Service that's running XP. This is a Korean thing. I guess just a web server, probably running off of Windows XP. A Kazakhstan Windows XP server. But yeah, so you just connecting to the internet, people can search these things and they can see that you're connected and they can start attacking you with vulnerabilities. Actually, let's try just putting in Linux, seeing what pops up. Okay, so Red Hat, most servers are Red Hat. The server that you're hearing in the background, that loud ass fan, was actually used to be Red Hat. Now it's Debian. Just because I used to use CentOS, but they stopped putting out updates for that, and so I didn't want any vulnerabilities stacking up. But yeah, so that was the main point of the video, that people can see that you're on the internet, they can attack you with vulnerabilities. So that's why ignoring the end of support deadline is not necessarily viable for the general consumer, just because most have common sense, but at the same time that can always slip and you might just end up getting ransomware, or getting ransomware due to an exploit or something similar to that. So the main thing we're going to be doing in this video is covering the installation of Windows 11, which I've actually never installed. I've installed Windows 10, 8 from an ISO, but I've never installed Windows 11, so I'm not sure about the whole Windows key thing. I don't care for a Windows key. I'm never going to buy a Windows key. Why would I pay $100 for a operating system full of bloatware and telemetry? And the only reason I have it is to game, and so, or whenever I do want a game. But we're going to be combining that installation with something called Ameliorated IO. Ameliorated IO is basically removing slash disabling that telemetry and bloatware, and it also disables security updates, which is kind of bad. But all that bloat, it allows for older computers to run the software. So, I mean, I consider myself to have pretty good common sense, so I don't care too much for the security updates. But I know that in the coming future, more things are going to support Windows 11 and probably stop supporting Windows 10. So even though it's kind of redundant to upgrade but then stop security patches, it's still for it to be compatible with future software for the actual base system. So yeah, we're going to get started on that. We're going to start this Windows 11 installation. So what I have here is KVM QEMU. So we're going to start by creating a new virtual machine, selecting the Windows 11 ISO. We'll give it, we'll edit that later. We're going to create a hard disk. I believe I'm actually going to use this installation. Well, probably not. I'll probably install later, but I guess this is just a demo. So I'll probably delete this afterwards, but I guess we'll go 128. We'll do 111. Customize. We could customize after before install. Like we could use UEFI. That's fine. Yeah. Let me change this topology. Let me not do 4 sockets. Let me do 1 socket, 4 cores, with 1 thread each. We'll do 4 cores, 2 threads each, or 2 cores, 2 threads each. I think. No, I'll do 8 cores. That's fine. Memory. We'll keep it at 8 gigs. I think that's fine. I just don't know how it's going to interact with having 4 cores. It should be fine, but fuck it, we'll just give it 8 virtual cores, or virtual CPUs, or virtual cores, whatever. So yeah, we have the SATA, the ISO, the SATA disk that we're going to be installing it on. I actually don't know how big it is, but the 120 should be fine. Spice server, all that, and then we're gonna begin the installation, and I'll be back when it's done. Okay, it is done. So yeah, I forgot to mention, I guess I had to modify the boot device order, and I had to enable the CD-ROM. It wasn't enabled by default for some reason, even though it's a new installation. I don't know. But we're going to apply that, and we are going to start this. Let's get any key to boot from CD or DVD. Let me see. Okay. Should be working now, I believe. Is that the Windows 11 thing? Okay, so yeah, Windows 10 looks just like Windows 11. So, I guess you have to press the key in order to boot from CD, or it boots into the EFI shell or whatever. So yeah, I'm going to go through this installation and install now. Let's see how this differs from Windows 10, because I've never installed this before. Product key, I don't have a product key. That's mad weird to see, the Windows 11. So I guess we'll do Windows 11 Pro, just I know some features aren't in Home. We'll do Windows 11 Pro. It says this PC doesn't meet the minimum system requirements to install this version of Windows. For information, visit sysrect. Okay. Okay, so now we're on the web page it sent us to, and these are apparently the system requirements. It requires 64-bit processor, 4 GB RAM. We have that. We gave it 8. Storage, 64 gigabytes or larger storage. UEFI. Yeah, I think this may be the issue. The trusted platform module. Let's see. These are the minimum system requirements for installing Windows 11 on a PC. If your device does not meet these requirements, may not be able to install Windows 11 on your device, and you might want to consider purchasing a new PC. If you're unsure whether your PC meets these requirements, you can check your OEM. Okay, Windows 11 Pro personal use. Requires internet connectivity during initial device setup. Okay. So let me see about this. Let me do some quick research and I'll get back to y'all. Okay, so after some research, I have discovered it was TPM, the Trusted Platform Module. So apparently, let me see where it says here. Whenever the initial betas came out for Windows 11, you did not have to have TPM enabled in order to actually install it. But as soon as the official ISO came out, which is what I downloaded, you had to start using TPM, which is why you have to upgrade hardware, because I believe it said this was published in 2021, updated 2023. It said CPUs that were 2 years older were not able to support TPM, so that's why it recommends upgrading hardware. So the upgrading hardware thing, if it is your base system, then that is a requirement for Windows 11. I thought they were bullshitting, to be honest, but I guess not. So yeah, I'm currently running Arch, but I will show you for Ubuntu and Debian. So right here we have, so on Debian Ubuntu, this is the website. Oh shit. Okay, this is the website link right here. On Debian Ubuntu, you'd add the PPA for it, the SWTPM tools, and you replace Focal with the codename for your Ubuntu version, which I believe it says it here in this other article. So you would do lsb_release-a, and then it would show you whether it's Focal or whatever Ubuntu version you're on. We do all this. I'll put these in the description actually. I actually put this one in the description, not this one, because this one seems to be more informative and less going off of like, oh, you know this, you know. And after that, you install SWTPM tools, which I literally just installed on my system. For Arch, I see that most of these are either showing you for Ubuntu Debian or Red Hat. Let me see. So yeah, Ubuntu Debian or Red Hat, CentOS, Rocky Linux, I guess. I guess it's the same package manager or something. But yeah, none of them that I've seen show Arch. So if you're on an Arch installation, all you have to do is, so sudo pacman, I know I'm highlighting yum, but it'll just be sudo pacman -S, and then you would just install SWTPM, and that should work for you. There's no package for SWTPM tools, just SWTPM. But if you are on a Debian, Ubuntu, or Red Hat CentOS install, then this is how you would do it. And I will put, I believe, does this show you for, no, this only shows you for Ubuntu. So I'll put both these in the description just so you can cross-reference both if you decide to do this. But afterwards, after that, you will go back to, let me close this out. You go back here, you go to open, you click the little light bulb, and you go to add hardware, and then you go to TPM. You can keep it as emulated. Just make sure, go to advanced options, select model TIS in version 2.0, and then add that. If it says you can't add it, then double check the install, because I tried it before and after the install just to make sure that like it knows that I wasn't missing anything. Like it's not like a false positive sort of deal. But yeah, after the install, it allowed me to actually add it. It won't allow you to add it if you do not support it, if you don't have SWTPM tools. So yeah, I added that, and now we're gonna get back into it, and I'll be back. So yeah, I'm back. We're going through the install again. Let's do this. Let's see if it works now. It should work. I believe TPM was the only issue. Everything else should be fine. Oh, not home. I did not want to do home. Damn. Okay, pro. It seems like that's different from last time, isn't it? Yeah, that's different from last time. So I believe now it's working. Upgrade, custom install Windows only. So we're gonna go ahead, get that installed, and I'll be back. Okay, so yeah, now it's restarting. We'll just restart that now. Let me see. It should boot from, yeah, it's booting from the hard drive now. So I'm gonna set this whole thing up. The loading icon is different. I kind of like it better than the other one, but yeah, we'll see. I'll show you the whole installation process once it pops up. Oh, look here, so fancy. Look at this shit. Okay, so this is the initial screen after rebooting. United States, yes. Okay, is this the right keyboard layout or input? Yes. Skip. We're just gonna, you know what, we're just gonna keep going through all this as if we're general pop. Just clicking yes to everything. Just because I'm not using this installation either way. Now that I know how to install it, I'm gonna actually upgrade my Windows 10 installation of this, but probably not now. I'll probably upgrade it in a year. I'm gonna hold off until last minute. PC will restart before we continue. All these damn restarts, I don't get it. Okay, so now we're back after a reboot for some reason. We'll just call it tutorial. Okay, keeps going black. I don't know. I don't like this. I feel like Windows 10 was more. It keeps restarting for some reason. I don't know why it's doing this. I don't know if this is the actual installation is because it's a VM. Maybe it's doing this, but this is so weird. I don't know. This is mad weird. I don't like this. It looks all fancy. Like I like it. It looks all, you know, meta-ish as far as like how Meta has done the UI for the Oculus Quest and stuff like that. Like it looks real like modern, sleek, and shit like that. So it looks good, but I don't know why it keeps restarting. Like Windows 10 did not do that. Set up for personal use. Let's see. So there's no option to actually not sign into a Microsoft account. That's actually interesting. Wow. Okay. There's no option at all. There's nothing. You have. Oh shit. You have to use the Microsoft account. Okay. Let's create one. Fuck it. If y'all want this email, y'all can have it. Tutorial malarkey. Can we just do that? Get a new email address. Okay. Let's see. Tutorial malarkey. We'll just do Outlook. We'll set a password. Need a little bit more information. Call it Mr. Malarkey. Okay. Damn. Okay. We'll do. Damn. No. It's numlock is on. The birthday entered is invalid. Okay. So for some reason the keypad wasn't working. Maybe that's just pre-installation issues. Add email. Also, an email address is required. Okay. Let's just pull 10-minute mail shit. Damn, that 10-minute mail is long as hell. I ain't gonna lie. I don't think it has the tools yet. Yeah, it doesn't have the guest tools yet. Okay, let's see if I can get a shorter one. Okay, I'm cool with this one. DLZ 80698 at alibi.com. We probably could have done some fake ass email, honestly, but I'm not sure if it wanted me to do verification. Ooh, okay. Even in the Windows installation, it asks you if you're a robot. Okay. Use the arrows to rotate the object to face in the direction of the hand. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna just do all. Oh, okay. Okay, I thought I had to do more. I'm gonna pause the recording. Okay. So yeah, I'm learning with y'all. With this whole installation. Let me see. Hi, mister. Let's bring your folders as credentials over from another PC. We're just gonna set up as a new PC. Restore from PC, Windows 10 and above. So you can't restore from Windows 8. Okay. Create a pin. Okay, we'll just do that. And location from my device. You know what? I said I was gonna do the normal shit, but I'm gonna just take all that shit off just because it bothers me. Build delightful apps. Oh, so is it gonna install VS Code for you? Or what is it gonna install for you? I guess VS Code, because it showed the VS Code icon earlier. Entertainment, browse the web, school. Okay, we're gonna skip that because we don't need all that shit. Let's see what's next. Use your phone for iPhone. Let's see. I did used to use iCloud, but I migrated to my own personal hosting just because I felt like it was cheaper. Not even felt like it was cheaper, it is cheaper. You get more storage. You might have to outright buy the storage for more at first, but in the long run, it's better. No, decline. Let me actually full screen this. Game Pass. Get your first month of PC Game Pass for $9.99, then $9.99 a month. Is this supposed to be a deal? Okay, join for how much is it? How much is it outright? PC Game Pass. Let me see something. How much is this shit? You can join for $1. I actually do like the whole PC Game Pass. It is actually pretty cool how they're migrating over Xbox shit. But continues automatically at $9.99 a month. So they're not giving you a deal. You're better off getting a deal from the actual Xbox website. Okay. Okay. So if you don't read this shit, they're really gonna get your ass. If you just fucking throw money everywhere. Microsoft loves you to throw money. Okay. So yeah, it's going through this whole thing. It's the same thing as Windows 10. Getting things ready for you. It's a different type of font, I believe. Yeah, that's a different font. It's more bold. This might take a few minutes. Okay. Fancy. Okay, I guess I'll be back. Okay, so it boots me immediately into it. This is what it shows me. Okay. So it just shows me this. As soon as you boot into it or you get to the actual desktop, it just shows you this. No welcome screen. I mean, it gives you a welcome to Windows, but I don't know. I think Windows 10 gave you a welcome screen. They're trying to be like Mac. In the middle of shit. Okay. So, I actually don't know how to navigate this shit. I don't even know what this is. Oh, it shows you the NBA shit. Okay. Well, they play Timberwolves May 6th. May 6th? May 6th. It's May 20th. What's it talking about May 6th? Is the time off? No, the time is on. The time is up to date. Okay. I don't know. What is this? Copilot? I think that's the coding shit that they have. I've never actually used Copilot. So, first things first. Task Manager. It's actually kind of slow. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know. I feel a little bit of like latency. So, with Task Manager, just Task Manager open as an app. We're running at 2% CPU, 30% memory. Disk is writing, reading and writing and all that shit. Here's the specifics. So yeah, you can see those are my specs. I'm pretty sure you saw them in the last video. If you did watch the last video, we have F5800X. We're gonna keep these specs the same as to see a before and after of the Ameliorated. So we're idling at 2.4, 2.5 gigs of memory. These don't matter. It's really CPU and memory. So yeah, 2%, 1% utilization. Just idling. Memory is 2.6. Even with the Ameliorated, I feel like it should be too much of a difference. This actually isn't too bad as far as CPU goes. For memory, 2 gigs, 2.5 gigs off rip, just sucked from the operating system is kind of crazy. I'm not gonna lie. Let's see what's taking all that. Matter of fact, how do we go back? Okay, that's the hamburger menu to open and close it. Okay, so if we go to memory, let's see what's taking the most memory. Anti-malware service executable, 77.8. Desktop window manager, the window manager, 67 megabytes. Edge, who opened Edge? Who the fuck opened Edge? Why is Edge running? What is this shit? Okay. Apparently Edge is running even though it was never opened. I think when it means Edge, okay, it's bugging out. Whenever it means Edge, it's probably referencing these things right here. All this news. Let's see. Sky win first game of season. Okay. Let's see. Task manager, service host, all this shit. SharePoint. Who opened SharePoint? I just don't get this shit. Okay. So yeah, we shouldn't see a drastic difference in the CPU utilization. The memory we should idling at 2.3 right now. So 2.3, 2.4, 2.5. Approaching the 2.5 gig range just with a basic install. So yeah, we're going to go through the process of ameliorating this. So y'all can just follow along. Bring over from continue without this data. Okay, just let me start browsing. So, like I said, we may run into issues, and I know that lengthens the video, but it's like issues that people may run into, and it's the same thing. Like, I'm running into these issues, you may run into issues, so it's just troubleshooting along the way. So let's see, so we have it pulled up here. Let's download the wizard. It used to be actual ISOs that you would download and install, which was both kinda difficult for people who already had a full installation and they didn't want to reinstall the whole operating system. And plus, they were getting sued on Microsoft for selling Windows ISOs and shit like that. So they changed it to a wizard where you can just insert a playbook and shit like that. I believe there was more in this zip file before, but I guess they consolidated everything. What is this? What is this doing? Is it syncing to OneDrive? Oh hell. Okay. Let's run that. Let's see. Okay. Select the playbook. So the playbook is the actual thing that basically modifies like the updates, this, that, and the third. Just to remove the telemetry and all that. Just to make it so that older systems, I think the primary focus is for, or one of the primary focuses is so that older systems can run this. But I feel like with the whole TPM thing that we just discovered, that kind of defeats the purpose or point of that. Because if you don't have TPM on the CPU, then you can't run it. So I'm not sure if the SWTPM tools that I installed is you're able to do that on a non-TPM CPU, and you just have like, you're able to just emulate it. I'm not sure if you can emulate it without actually having it on your own CPU, but I don't know. Somebody comment down below if that's an issue. I don't know, because I believe my 5800X has TPM. So, and I don't think I do have an older CPU. I could test it out later and see if that is an actual issue. But so with the playbooks, the two most promoted ones are Atlas and Revy. So Atlas, Linus Tech Tips actually covered Atlas. It is redesigned specifically for gaming, tweaked to improve your experience. Revy makes Windows lightweight, easy, and simple. So, I mean, I know most people probably watching this are gamers, or they want a game, so we're probably gonna go with Atlas. I think I installed Revy before, but I'm probably on this next installation I do, or next update, if I do wipe the whole system, then I might just do Atlas instead of Revy. But for this video, we're gonna do Atlas. So we click here, get the playbook, Atlas playbook. It actually also links you to the wizard, so you can just go to atlasos.net. It'll give you everything you need. Disable automatic driver installation. We're gonna close this out. Let's do a little folder here, new folder, and then let's extract that. Okay, keeps bugging out a little bit. It keeps like snatching the cursor. Okay, now we drag this into here. I don't know what that is. I don't know what's going on. Could be an issue with the SPI server, maybe. Read the Atlas documentation first. Atlas makes your computer snappier and more private with lots of usability improvements. The next step will verify that your system fulfills the requirements to proceed. So yeah, let's run this action. Open Windows Security. We have to turn off all this, just so that it can actually mess with the operating system without running into issues. I believe you can turn some of this stuff on afterwards. Yeah, like tamper protection. Close that out. Okay. And then yeah, I should automatically do that. And you click next, analyze an installation. We may actually run into the issue about the, okay, never mind, about the Windows key, but I guess it hasn't caught up yet. the actual operating system, because I believe after a couple hours or maybe a day, it does the whole activate Windows in the corner. So you have to do this pretty quickly if you don't have a key. So we go to next, the core, and then the GUI, all this shit. You can read that if you want. It's just, I believe, copyright stuff, an MIT license, the EULA, yeah, all that. So we agree. We can configure some options. Enable Defender. Disabling Defender reduces security and is an option for advanced users only. I say keep Defender. Windows Defender is actually pretty good nowadays. It used to be dog shit, but nowadays it's actually good. So you can enable Defender. Windows mitigations. Disabling mitigation reduces security and only improves performance on older CPUs. So that's really up to you. I don't have an older CPU. Enabling core isolation protects important parts of Windows at the cost of performance. So the recommended is core isolation. Enabling protects important parts of Windows at the cost of performance. So saying to disable it is recommended. Fuck it, we'll just go with each one that's recommended. Select the options you'd like to use. They can be changed. Disable printing, disable Bluetooth, disable power saving. So yeah, we're gonna deselect all those. Just get, if you want to run like, you know, this for like work and shit like that, you're gonna want printing, you're gonna want Bluetooth and stuff like that. So disable hibernation. Remove our Microsoft Edge. Install a browser. I believe it installs either Firefox or Brave. I don't want it to install Brave, so I'm just gonna uncheck it, because Brave is shady. Disable notifications, yeah. And we click next, and then it should go through this whole thing, which extracting resources, copying files, and yeah, it just goes through this whole thing where it's removing the telemetry and certain bloatware and stuff like that. We just let it do its thing. It'll restart, like it's checked here, once the process completes. Okay, so upon restart, this is what it looks like. Click that. It changes your icon to the Atlas thing, which you can change in the settings later. But let's see. So yeah. It also changes the background. You can change that too. I believe in previous ones, at least with ReviOS, you can choose not to change the background. I don't know why it does this shit. You can also change these icons. It's a little bit, I don't know Atlas did this, to be honest. I know Revi, you have the option to not do all this shit where it fucking brands everything as Atlas. But, you know, it's a price to pay in order, like, you know, all the work that it's doing. So yeah, we go here. Let's actually go to Task Manager and see what's up with that. See if it's a little bit better. Okay. So of course there's also the core processes that needs to run in order to actually run Windows. But you can see the CPU 1%, sitting at 1%. It's sitting pretty low. I believe it was like jumping a little bit prior to the Atlas revitalization. You see, it even goes to 0% sometimes. The memory, we get a whole gig back. It's able to remove all that shit and give you a gig back. I believe the actual internet, I believe it was sending a lot of data to Microsoft, and that's where we had a whole bunch of spikes in the Ethernet, or in the internet in general. And you can see it doesn't do that. It reduces that a lot. But yeah, you can see idling 1.6, CPU 1%. I've yet to see it hit 2%, probably because we were checking that, or something. Some process probably made a spike to that 2% or whatever that is. But yeah, saves you a whole gig. Doesn't reduce your bandwidth or internet because it's sending all that shit to Microsoft. And yeah, I'd say it's a win. Even though you have all this shit, you're still saving a whole gig. You paid for that gig of RAM. or that all those gigs of RAM. You should be able to keep that fucking gig. So let's see, here we go. I believe this is basic shit. Atlas, change icon. Let's see. That's a whole nother thing as far as changing the icon. If you look closer in the actual wizard whenever you're installing Atlas, there may be an option. They didn't make it apparent, I guess, because they made the installation. They want to, they want the branding. They want to be the look. So, but yeah, that's how you install Windows 10 on a virtual machine on Linux, and install Atlas as well. Revi might be the better option just because it doesn't do all this shit. I know Revi gives you the option to not change the folder and the background and all that shit. But yeah, I believe that's everything. Hope you guys learned something from this video. I did. We learned together, and I feel like I teach better whenever I learn alongside explaining, or like yeah, you know what I mean. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Y'all have a good one.